What is happening, guys, and welcome back. So we're carrying on with the inside of this Caddy now. I've done a little bit. So we've got the boot floor all down and trimmed and fitted. I've got the trims in for the rear seat conversion, carpets back in the front, lower door trims, seat bases are all in and are done as well. So yeah, I thought I'd do them because you didn't really need to see me just bolting bits back together. So what we're going to work on now is this roof. Now, we've obviously got this seat belt sticking out, and then we've got where this seat belt comes out here. So we're going to do a bit of thinking. Now, the front one, we've got this piece here, which will clip up on there, out of the way nicely. But this back piece, we've got nothing. And I think there was something in the car, but I obviously didn't take it out of the car, and I've now got rid of it. And I can't find it anywhere. I've searched absolutely everywhere. So what we're going to have to do is make something, or what I've already done is make something. So I've been up to my brother's workshop. He's a joiner. He's got a shop fitting company, reform manufacturing, which makes anything really. Bedrooms, kitchens, shop fitting, displays, everything and anything. Put a link in the description for him. I've made this. Now, it's all hacked about and everything, and what that does is it goes over like that. It'll look pretty cool. So we're going to wrap that in carpet to match the headliner in the back. I'm going to put radius on the corners, just soften it all a bit, but that should look better than it having the seatbelt hanging down, I suppose. So all I've done with it was I've offered it back in. I've gone back with a soldering iron and put all the holes back in through the carpet into the metalwork, so this will clip on. Clips it on with just the central fixing to start with. Mark, cut off, in, out, kept cutting until we've got it all, everything clearing that we need to, but we've cut enough away to get it on. So now that bit's done, we're going to lay this on a piece of ply I've got on the bench, or I've got on the side. We'll draw around it, we'll cut ourselves a complete new headliner out. We've got to extend the front by 10mm as well, and get rid of all of those castellations that are in the edge of it, because you obviously had the bulkhead there before, and we're not going to have the bulkhead. You see on this headline here, this is where it was covered, so we're going to come straight across here, but we want to extend it by about 10mm as well to go right up in to this groove. I have done it before, so I know that that will work. So we'll get this headliner out now. I know I've cut everything, get it onto this piece of plywood. Now I don't know whether I've made the right decision or not. Probably not. We'll find out in a minute. I've gone for 6mm on the roof. Not really sure why, but that's what I ordered. So we'll see if this is going to work. Get this laid on it, get it drawn around, get it cut out, and hopefully see it working. I mentioned in the last video that I'd got something a little bit special for the cab. Now, we're going to leave the rear headliner for a minute because I need to put some of the cab back together just to make sure that what I'm doing is correct. So, what we're going to do for the cab, we're going to be covering it in stretch suede just to make the cab look that little bit nicer. This stuff is a stretch suede, so it's got quite a bit of stretch to it. The stuff I've used in the past had a bit of stretch, but it's nowhere near as much as this. So, we'll give it a go. I've got it from a company called AS Trim, not sponsored anything, I bought it from them. I think it's about £35, £36 a metre by, I think, 1.5 metre roll, so it isn't the cheapest, but at the same time, it isn't the most expensive. So, we'll give it a go. I'm going to try it with just normal standard spray glue, see if it works or not. there is that covered in suede then. Not the easiest thing in the world, but not the most difficult. That suede is very, very forgiving. Got it nice around there. So you want to start off on this hump. Lay it on there, start on here and get it worked around this complex shape first, then work either side and then I'll work this end. Seems to have gone down all right, so we're going to offer it in the van. We can only hold it in with rubbers at the minute because that tray basically holds it all in, but I want to offer this in. We'll probably put that back in as it is to hold it all in place so that I can make sure that my headliner in the rear is going to be in the correct place. Right, first idea I had went a little bit wrong and didn't quite work how I wanted it to. What I'd done was cut this piece here, which is the same shape and size as the normal standard headliner out of the van, extended at the front by 10 mil to be able to take up the gap where the bulkhead would have gone. That was fine. What I've then done is cut two pieces of 6 mil at 30 mil ripped to create this border to put the LED onto, which was fine. Then what I did, I've cut this sort of pelmet piece here as well. And you see these bigger holes here? What my idea was, we were gonna put the headliner in, hold it in place. Well, we'd drilled some more holes and put some clips in, 2 clips in just to hold that headliner up that's in the van. And then what I was gonna do, I bought these, which are apparently for a P38 Range Rover, and they are some form of clip that holds something trim onto the seat. So I bought them. It's meant to be for an 8mm hole, much longer than the original clips I've got. So then what I was going to do was these big holes here, these were carpeted into this piece. And then what we were going to do was these big routed out holes here, you can see there's a clip in there now. These were 13mm all the way through, all 3 thicknesses. And then this clip was going to go through, obviously, the headliner that we've just made, all the way through everything and hold it all together. These are not for an 8mm hole. As soon as I did it all, put it all together, pushed these in, they came straight back out. They didn't hold it at all. So, that was last night and I got very annoyed and went over the ump. Come back in this morning and what I've done is, as I've just shown you, I've routed these down so that it's down to just this 6mm here. So they're clipped in nice and strong, sorted. Obviously I've taken, there's a clip that goes in the middle of the roof here. I didn't want to be able to see that in this suede. So what I've done is I've screwed and glued 3 pieces of 6mm, 3 rips to this rib in the middle to get it to about the right height. And I've used some Tiger Seal to glue that headliner up. That's what that clamp's in there for, holding out. And it's been up there about 2 hours now, so hopefully I can take it down quickly to get this headliner in, put the clamp back in, and it will all be okay. What I've then done is next to where these holes were, so these obviously were the holes that these were going to be, which are the holes in the van, I've gone through and drilled another hole next to them, which hopefully, it's an 8mm hole, which will hopefully go here, here, So this sub panel is now hopefully going to clip into the plywood, hopefully work. Right, let's try and put it in. And there we go, there's that bit done. Making a bit of a feature of the ceiling. I think it looks mega with the Alcantara or Suede in the middle, and then the carpet around the outside. Tried to hide the lighting as much as you can. Obviously from this end, you're gonna see a bit of spotting because you're looking directly at it, but it looks good. We've got these trims, bulkhead cut down to create these trims as well, as we did on the last one. Same on this side. Just finishing that off and looking nice. There's your nice little switch. So 0, it's off. 1, you press, and that runs normally with the feed from the doors. So when you open the doors, the lights will come on and they'll go off after an amount of time as normal. Flick it to 2, which I haven't wired in yet, and the lights will be on permanently. So that'll be a permanent wide feed from the battery, just in case you want them on in the back. And obviously whoever has it has got to make sure that they don't leave them on, because you don't want to go running it down. But I thought I'd put that little feed in there, just so that if you ever did need it, you've got that functionality. So now that bit's done, I'm going to grab the seats, we'll throw them in. Another little bit of the interior done, and it's looking nice. I still need to put the sun visors and the front light in, rear view mirror, a few bits inside, so I'll get all them bits put back on, and you'll see me when it's all done. So I brought it outside for a bit of better lighting. Got the boss with me as well today, Dexter. Not interested, too many things to sniff. So let's have a look at what this interior's turned out like. Now it obviously isn't 100% finished, it still needs cleaning, I still need to put trims and things back on and screws in, but cab, looking good. A-pillar post still, cover still got to go on as well, but yeah, not looking too bad. Back seat conversion, looking pretty nice. Front headline, obviously we've covered this in Alcantara or Suede, but we're leaving all the plastics light grey because I quite like the contrast. And then the rear, we've obviously made this a feature ceiling, which has got illumination around it. This is Suede, this is obviously carpet. And these at the back look pretty nice now. Magnet still works in that, holding that up, which is nice. That covers the rear up pretty nicely. All the carpeting looks mega. We've gone for a black carpet on the floor. I think it looks pretty good. So the carpet I've done and I've joined down here. It's as close a match to that black as I could get. But when them seats are up, it flows quite well, I think. All the carpeting's done. Headliner looking absolutely mega. Just finishes the interior off. Like I say, I do quite like the contrast of the light grey. So the van obviously still needs a hell of a good clean, because at the end of the day it was a used interior that we put into it. But I think what I've done looks pretty good, and it finishes it off really nicely and makes it a nice van to drive. I've just driven it up and down the yard and it is night and day compared to how loud it was before, with the amount of sound deadening and insulation that we've put into it. So I think it was a job well worth doing. So the next thing to do is going to be to get an MOT on it, try and get some insurance sorted out on it, and then we'll be starting to look at getting the coilovers on, the wheels on, and then we're about there. So hopefully you've enjoyed that one then, guys. From me and the big man, until next time, enjoy.